Hello there, it's welcome back to Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict, and today I bring you the complete beginner's guide for STARSEED Asnia trigger. It will be a long video with a lot of information, so I'm gonna be putting some timestamps right now on top of me after editing the video, so you can go into the specific parts of the guide that you might need. Of course, if you also prefer to read, which probably most people prefer to, on the website I will be updating most of the things I'm talking in this video into here. There is already a lot of the guides in there with the tier list and whatnot, so if you prefer to read, feel free to do so. That said, before we start, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to help me grow the channel, and let's get started with the most important part for absolutely every gacha, and that's going to be the gacha rates and the reroll system. When it comes to the gacha system, this game is pretty generous. It's a 4% to get SSR characters, which is pretty good. It's a 1.6 for the Reta banner and a 0.1 for the light and dark characters. Those are like the most rare units that you can see right here. When it comes to these banners with the Reta banners, it's a 1.6% chance to get them, but every 6 multis you are guaranteed 1 copy of ID in this case, or if you were to pull on Sia, you are guaranteed every 6 multis a copy of Sia. You are also guaranteed an SSR character every 3 multis, no matter the banner. So on ID, every 3 multis there is a guaranteed character, random, same here, and same on the normal banner. On the free and ship banner, of course, there is no guaranteed. The rates are the same, 4%, and you'll be able to do a multi every 3 days, more or less. When it comes to the plugins, it's still a 4%. It's the weapon system of this game. We'll talk about this later, but you can get either shards, parts of this weapon, or directly the weapon itself, which will give you 50 pieces every time you get one. Now, let's talk a little bit more about this and the PT and whatnot. When you are doing a multi in here, you're also going to be getting either green shards when you're pulling on the normal banner, or on the Reta banners, you'll be getting gold shards. These shards you will be able to exchange, as you can see, for different random rewards. These include more pulls, more resources, selectors, etc. Every 100 pulls, you get one of these. So every 600 multis, every 600 pulls, you will be getting all of these completed, and you'll be able to restart this. Of course, this is better for whales, but even free-to-plays will be able to clear this over time. So the gacha system is pretty good at the 4%, and every 3 multis you're getting a guaranteed character. Let's do a multi so you guys can see the animation and see how you can spot if you're getting an SSR or not. If your cube right here turns into gold, you are getting an SSR, which was guaranteed for us after 2 more singles, so pretty good. But if you get this cube blue, when you click here, as you can see, this can turn into purple, and that's a spark. Now, the animation is pretty simple, and we got a green character, I was almost saying yellow, and it's Layla. So, as you can see, every time you pull, you also get these coins on the bottom for the green characters, the lowest rarity units that you cannot use even in the game, and you will be using these coins on specific shops we'll talk about later. So that is for the gacha system. It's a pretty simple gacha system. I personally like it because it's a 4%, which is pretty nice. Every 3 multis guaranteed a random SSR. Every 6 multis you're guaranteed the rate up character of this game, because you need a lot of dupes, and we'll talk about character progression on a second. So that's for the gacha. We'll talk later about the wishlist system and what characters are worth putting in here. But before we talk about the wishlist, Sefhi, should I be rerolling? Is it even worth to reroll in this game? Not really, because you will be getting absolutely every character for free with this exclusive SSR event on launch. So as you can see, every day you get a different character. This includes the light and dark units. So every character for free you will be getting. Now, if you want to reroll, my recommendation would be either reroll for Raiho, the light character. She's one of the best supports, and a 0.1% to get her. It's kind of hard. Or pull for Sia and try to get multiple copies on your 2 first multis, at least 3-4 copies. That's like the only way I will say is worth rerolling. Now, the ID banner will not be available for the global launch, but the Sia banner will still be here for you guys. So I would recommend those are the only 2 real options to go for: multiple copies of Sia or reroll for Raiho, since she is really good. So that's it for the gacha, and for the reroll, let's talk a little bit about the wishlist system for the game and what characters are worth keeping on your wishlist. So let's talk a little bit about the wishlist system for this game, because just like every gacha, you'll be able to put on the wishlist 5 characters of each faction, and also, which is important, light and dark characters, you will be able to select which one you want. Because when you get a light or dark character, it will be guaranteed one of the ones you select. Right now there is only 2 in the game, but later we'll be getting more. When it comes to the normal wishlist, it's not guaranteed to get one of the characters you put on this list, but there is higher chances. So I'm gonna be saying some characters in here so you guys can understand why they're good or bad, but of course, as usual, go for waifus rather than for whatever I'm putting here myself, okay? So when it comes to the explicator characters, you wanna be putting Yuna in here. She's the strongest DPS damage dealer when it comes to red characters for a melee. If you don't like her for whatever reason, even though she's pretty hot, you can go with Beleveta. She is also pretty nice. When it comes to the supports for this, there is 2 supports you absolutely need to be getting. That is Eurycia and Helen. Helen is a healer. She will be used for a lot of content, not for everything, but for a lot of content. But Eurycia, it's a character that on every single tier list, PvE, PvP, bosses, etc., she is at the top. So I would recommend 100% putting her and Helen. When it comes to ranger characters, you only have 2 options. Ino, which is a great DPS, or Crimson. What does it change? Crimson will help you with production and crafting, we'll talk about that later, and Ino is a stronger DPS overall. When it comes to tanks, there is only one option right now, that's Ambrosia, so make sure to put her in there. Of course, this game is heavily based on elemental teams, you will be dealing more damage with them, so make sure you're always trying to put multiple characters of the same element together. That's it about explicators. Let's go over consolidators really fast. When it comes to tanks, the only option is Itus. She's the strongest tank in the game, and she puts a shield on her own and on everyone in the team. Completely broken. When we talk about rangers, there is 2 options here. That's gonna be Erika and Patricia. You should be pulling for both of them. They actually complement each other pretty well. Patricia is already like a really good DPS, but Erika makes her do even more damage thanks to Patricia's passive. Again, I know a lot of things will be like, okay, but why? If you want more explanations, you can check the website or read the skill of the characters, because I don't want this video to be longer than it's probably already gonna be 30 minutes or close to. So Itus for your tank, Patricia and Erika for your DPSs. Then as a support, you have Halona, which is the only character I am missing right now. He refuses to come home. And then when it comes to the melee character, if you want to put one, I would recommend Arcels, so you could be replacing Erika with Arcels the moment you get her, since you also want to be getting a melee character. I have Daria because she's a great tank. It's not really a good option for damage reduction, and she's used on some of the bosses. But I would go instead of Daria for a melee character here, since Itus will cover all of your needs here. In my case, I'm going for Daria. And then when it comes to Computator, which is the green characters, there is multiple things. So when it comes to the combination of DPSs for this team, Angelica and Layla are the best options. They actually buff each other. They're kind of on this rock band together, and they work really well. They literally are made to be played together. Ferrell is also a decent option for a range, but I would prefer to go Angelica Layla since they are just made for that. When it comes to your tank, Melissa, it's amazing. She's super strong. And then when it comes to your support, Shell, it's the best option here because she is an energy battery. And as you all know, in this type of games, energy batteries are always super strong. Doesn't matter if it's FK Journey or even in Nike, when we get characters that have better burst generation, or in this case, characters that generate more energy like Shell, right? So these characters are always super good. Pick her up if you can. I have Lilian on my wishlist because she's waifu. Now that's it about the wishlist really quickly. Like I was saying, you have this on the website if you prefer with more information. Let's move into character progression, dupes, and how they work. When it comes to character progression, we have to divide this into 2 parts, dupes and the character systems in general that you will be able to find here. Characters will go from SSR or even from SR if they are blue, all the way to LR5. This is like a weird naming convention even for this type of games. So let's go over how this works and what mistakes to avoid when leveling up your characters. When it comes to promoting your units, as you can see, you'll be able to go basically from the lowest rarity into LR5. Now, there is something really important. As you can see, I have literally right now 2, 4, 5 SSR1 Angelicas. You might be thinking, okay, I could be leveling her up higher to UR. Why are you not using these other dupes you have laying down there? Well, it's because as you see right there, it's asking me to use 2 SSR1 characters. It's not telling you it has to be Angelica. So you should always use blue units when they are asking for random fodder, never the SSRs, because the SSRs will be used later when you get to, for example, if I go to my red units, if I go to my Yuna, she's LR2. If I want to go to LR3, I need another Yuna. So you need to be switching from dupes of the same character and fodder constantly. Now, to understand this a little bit better, as you can see, SSR plus SSR, it's an SSR1. Then you'll be using fodder. Then you'll be using another dupe of your character, then fodder, then more dupes of your character. This is important because as a general rule of thumb, you should never go past SSR1 unless it's the main copy you're trying to level up. So this is my Patricia. She's MR1. I would never use this Patricia and get her higher, right? I will never go here and be like, oh, let me take this Patricia to UR, because then you are fucking up your progression by using those resources. Now, you can cancel promotion, but this will cost you gems, like 800 gems, which is a lot. So I will say just be careful, never go past SSR1 unless it's your main characters. So you'll need to pull a lot, and over time you'll get most of your characters past those MR, LR breakthroughs. Now, the rarity is also tied to the max level of the character. As you can see, an LR character, which is the highest, goes to 240, but an MR1 goes to 200, and a UR1 goes to 160. So you need to keep pulling in order to reach max level with 5 units. Your 5 highest units will also be dictating the level of everyone else in your account. That's it about the level and the rarity. Let's move into the other systems. There is one system we'll not talk about and we'll reserve for later, that is the batch system. This is a system that's really important, but it's also longer, so we'll leave it for later on this guide. So let's go into the other systems first, starting with the most basic thing on any game, the skills. The skills go from level 1 to level 4. The resources to level up skills you'll get every single day, and it's quite expensive. So only level up either the meta characters or your waifus. I will not say just go and level up absolutely every single character you have, because it's not worth it. Going from level 1 to level 2 is cheap. Going from level 2 to level 3, it's also a little bit more expensive. As you can see, if I go to my Patricia, for example, or anyone that I can level up, it's 300 instead of 90, right? It's even 500 for the passive. So it's expensive. Level only your main characters, the strongest ones you have, and your waifus. When it comes to the gear also has rarities, but you cannot just level up the gear. You need to get it with your idle resources and your daily grind. Now, if you want to know how you can get higher rarity gear, this is based on your progression on campaign. And as you can see right here, this is going to be based when you start the game, you're going to be getting gear with N rarity, and then as you progress, you're going to be getting higher and higher rarity. So sometimes you do not want to be leveling up these lower pieces, and you might want to wait until the next breakthrough here. For example, for me, I'm on chapter 16. Waiting for MR1, it's kind of a waste because it's going to take a while. So I should be leveling up my gear that I get, that's MR, for example, on my Patricia, that she has a full set right here, right? So it's always nice to keep this on the back of your head to know if it's worth leveling up gear or waiting for this next breakthrough to get the next rarity. When it comes to optimization, this is going to be based on how many dupes you have, okay? This is once again currency you get every day, but it's expensive. And as you can see, you will be getting different tiers of optimization, and this will give different stats to your character. In the case of Yuna, it's movement speed and evasion. In the case of Sia, it's incoming damage reduction and attack speed. In the case of Shell, it's different, etc, etc, etc. So if you want to keep optimizing your characters, and I'm gonna go max here, and as you can see, I go to level 3, I still only get the first one, which is healing don't increase, which is good still, right? But this is expensive, so only do it once again for the strongest characters or your waifus. That's everything for the character progression and the dupes. I know it's confusing. The good thing about the game is that they have these guides constantly in the game that will explain everything to you. But once again, if you prefer to have everything on a written format, check the website since it's going to be explaining there as well. Moving to the next thing, which if I check my notes, it should be actually the plugins and the weapons for this game and how they work. Alright, so let's talk about the weapons for each character. As you can see, if I go to gear, you'll see here equip plugin. Plugins are not tied to the character. I can equip Itu's plugin into Shell. But when you equip the correct plugin, you will be unlocking new skills. So first of all, this EX skill on each character is passive. It's only when you have the weapon. And also your ultimate has two different modes, Awake or Blossom. Blossom, it's only activated when you have your plugin, and you can switch between one or the other for each battle. Plugins are something that over time is going to be more important to pull for them rather than for characters. We'll talk about the wish list for the plugins in a second as well. Plugins, as you can see, also have rarities and different stuff, but it's a little bit different than the weapons or the characters themselves. So when we talk about plugins themselves and we go into the plugin and cost to upgrade, plugins, when you pull the first copy, you're getting the base SSR version. You will need shards, which when you are pulling, you will get different or random amounts. In total, to go to LR, you will need 2,350 fragments, which is a lot of them, right? Plugins, just like characters, not only have rarity, but also levels, which, once again, what a surprise, you should only be leveling those that are meta units, right? And you can also promote them, which this is using basically the dupe system, right? For higher rarities and higher stats. And then you have the chipset, which is tied to the rarity of this plugin, which will be giving your characters even more passive stats. In the case of Raiho, 8% HP, 10% HP, and 12% HP when I get to MR1. So plugins are really important, and not only that, but even as a free-to-play, you will be able to obtain all the plugins without any issue, no, not the rates. If you go into the plugins, there is also a wishlist system. At the beginning, I would recommend go here, click unown, and get absolutely one copy of each of these plugins, because most characters have usages, be it for specific bosses or for specific game modes or just for team compositions on that element. So it's good having one copy of each. After you're done with one copy of each, I would go only for the meta or waifu characters, just like we were talking about in all this video. As you can see on my case, I'm going for Raiho, Patricia, ID, I'm going for Itus, and also Juna. If you want to see the animation, it's pretty similar to the one we're doing previously, but instead of getting characters, you'll be able to obtain shards or directly the whole plugin itself. If I skip all, as you saw here, I got 20 shards, 10 shards, 20 shards, etc. We didn't get super lucky. You can get 50 shards directly if you are lucky. So let me do one more so you guys see how this works, even though I should not be using this right now, but whatever. And we didn't get it, so I'm not going to be doing anymore. But you will be getting shards to promote, and also you could be getting up to 50 if you are lucky enough. So that's for the plugin system. It's pretty similar to the characters, and it's an important system as well, because this will dictate where the combat power for your characters is coming from. The plugins actually make your characters really, really strong, and the passive they get are also really powerful. So that said, to move into the next topic, which is going to be, if I look at my notes, the idle rewards and all of the game modes we have available in the game right now. So, like we were talking earlier, this is an idle game, and your rewards, like every idle game, will accumulate over time up to a maximum of, at the beginning, 12 hours, but you can get this higher. Right now, for me, it's 16 hours. You'll be able to obtain materials, accession materials, guild resources, gifts for your characters, and of course, also gear. The gear will be random, so it can have sets, it can be normal, it really depends. As you can see, we got a piece without a set. You can also, up to 4 times per day, get rewards for free, here when you click quick operation, or spend gems to get another 2 hours worth of resources. I usually always do the 50 gem 2-hour resource, but I'm also a spender, not the full free-to-play, so I would recommend don't get anything outside the free rewards if you're a free-to-play. Now that's it about the idle rewards. Let's talk a little bit about all of the game modes we have right now available in the game. There is a lot of things, so once again, I'm going to be going through all of them on a quick manner, and then you have everything on the website with more explanations and strategies on how to clear. The first and most important game mode is the adventure. This is the story, and this is where you will be clearing. As you can see, I'm on chapter 16 right now. There is like 27 chapters, which right now nobody is there. Even the biggest whales, I believe, are on like chapter 22, I believe, 23. Yeah, chapter 22, the biggest whale on our server right now. So don't worry too much about this. It's gonna take time. This is an idle game. Just take it at your own pace. You get a lot of rewards on every sector or every chapter you clear, as you can see. That's a lot of rewards, a lot of pulls, selector, pieces for characters, even gear. So the rewards for the chapters are pretty good. Now that's only the main campaign of the game. There is a lot of game modes, as you can see right here and behind me, right? Now, the good thing about this game, and I'm actually covering this, is this bulk sweep button right here on my left. This bulk sweep button will allow you to do your dailies in one click. You log in, click here, I already did them of course, but you click them, select all, and you sweep. So you are done with your dailies. That's pretty good, and then you only have to do PvP on your own. So all in all, if you are right now that you don't want to do dailies, you don't want to be pushing content, you don't want to be playing for 1 hour the game, only 10 minutes, absolutely you can do that. Log in, bulk swap, and that's it. I would recommend trying to push, but you do you. So let's go over every single game mode that you can access in this game. First, you have the data tower. This is the normal tower on absolutely every single gacha game, okay? And you're gonna be getting rewards for climbing different floors. The rewards are pretty good, honestly, and every few chapters, every few levels, you're gonna be getting even better rewards right here. 50, if you go to 140, I'm getting even UR gear, I'm getting 500 gems, etc. So rewards for climbing the tower are pretty good. When we talk about simulator, this is only for people who want to be testing characters. This is to actually go put a team of units, put a specific boss that you select, and run different team compositions to see how good or bad they are together. So pretty simple. Then we have the supply search. Now the supply search is a game mode where you're going to be getting all of these currencies we've been talking about right now to level up your characters, to level up the plugins, to level up the skills, etc. There is 4 different types of supply search you will unlock as you progress through the campaign. First one, to level up your skills. Second, to level up your plugins. Third, to optimize your characters, and fourth, gear energy, which is to level up your gear. As you can see, you also will have to use different types of units depending on the boss. This one is for rangers, supports, attackers, and defenders or tanks. This is a pretty simple one. You can push up to rank 30, I believe it is. Right now, I'm, for example, on 15, and I just sweep level 15 myself because it's the best thing for me. Now, you have 3 attempts per day for if you buy a monthly card, we'll talk about later. And you can also get tickets to use in here if you want it. So, as you can see, I have 3 tickets that I can use to sweep these 3 times. If you get these tickets, don't use them because you can save them for a year if you want. There is no time to use these tickets. I usually save them for when I get to higher levels because you'll be able to get even more rewards. So save those tickets, they are important. The next thing is the core analysis. This is based on each faction. If you enter, for example, the explication faction, you will be able to do 4 different types of levels. As you can see, level 3, I haven't pushed this at all. My God, guys, please don't be like me, okay? Be like this, level 20, 19, don't be like me and just push one of them. Okay, push all of them. You'll be able into 4 different stages and you'll be able to get core analysis coins, which you'll be able to then get extra stats for these factions. So extra stats for the explicators, computators, and consolidators. This is pretty good, and not only that, this also gives you currency, which is always nice, of course. I would recommend pushing this as far as you can. And like I was saying, don't be like me and leave this at level 1 and be a lazy bastard, okay? Actually push this, please. Now let's go into the next one. This is Arena. I'm not going to be talking about PvP because I don't care about PvP. On gacha games, I never care about it. So this is the PvP on the game. You have the normal arena and the team arena with 3 teams instead of 1. Pretty simple stuff. Then we have the special ops, which is also pretty important. There is 4 different things here. Boss challenges. These are bosses you can go anytime you want. There is no limit on when you can go here. There is no reset, no nothing. These bosses, if you manage to fully clear them, it's 10 stages. They will give you a lot of gems, a random character, and if you manage to beat stage 10, a frame for every different type of boss. As you can see, I've only beaten the first one and I got this frame right here. These frames are pretty cool. It's just cosmetics and extra resources. Just do them over time. There is no rush to clear this. This is mostly a combat power check and a DPS check, nothing else. Then you have the world rate. This opens only on weekends. You can do as many times or attempts as you want, and then your highest attempt or your highest damage will be saved in here. As you can see, I'm here with my friend Jay on 16 and 17. That's it, nothing else. This is based on your own server, so you'll see different people. Then you have Dominion. Dominion and Memorial are kind of different game modes, but I'll try to explain them super quickly. Dominion has 20 different areas. You can only use characters 6 times, so you will have to use multiple teams in order to clear these 20 stages. We have a full strategy on the guide from the Chinese brothers. If you want to copy that, feel free to go to the website. When it comes to Memorial, this is where we farm gold, and there is a reset. I believe it's weekly as well. As you can see, you get a lot of golds, pools, etc. I haven't fully cleared it, but if you want the strategy to fully clear that the Chinese bros are using, it's also on the website. Like I was saying, this is game modes you should be trying to clear because they do reset, and it's a good income of extra resources. So always try to make sure you're doing them. And then lastly, you have Guild OC. This is your guild daily battles. Okay, you should be doing them with your guild. This will be helping you a lot, and your guild get extra resources. As you can see, you will be able to get the gear, gems, and this guild coin that you can use to get and buy more materials. When it comes to the guild total war, this only opens every once in a while, but it's pretty similar. This is actually a guild war, but PvE. So it's to see who can clear the fastest or do more damage to a boss on all the guilds in the server. It's pretty similar. Now, that is most, if not all, the game modes that I can think of right now. Like I was saying at the beginning, this is going to be like a really heavy, dense information guide because there is just so many things to talk about and go through. But that said about the game mode, let's actually talk about the shop, since there is so many different currencies and what you should be buying on each shop. So let's talk about the shop, and then we'll talk about the cash shop, the paid shop. Let's start off with the free one first. There is a lot of shops in here, as you can see, and a lot of things you should be avoiding or not buying in general. So tab by tab, let's go with the general shop first. You should avoid absolutely everything here. Do not buy here unless you are well and can afford these things. Pretty simple. The only thing that you could be buying is ascension materials if they cost gold, because sometimes things in here will actually cost gold instead of gems. So if you see ascension materials for gold, that is great. Outside of that, nothing here. When it comes to Terra shop, the only thing you should be buying is nothing on the blue ones, only the purple shards. The ones that cost 5,000 and these ones that cost 11k as well. So just to get random characters, pretty simple. When it comes to the guild shop, this is gear. Now, the rarity of this gear will be based on your campaign progression, and that's what I was saying, that it's so important to keep this on the back of your head to understand if you want to be spending currency, right, or waiting until the next breakthrough. In my case, I spent some, but I was saving a little bit, and now I can get pieces of MR gear for my characters, which is good to get. So I get a random piece right here. So this is always good to get. You should be buying gear. It's up to you if you want to be like, okay, I want SSR, or I want to wait for SSR1, or you might want to be waiting even for higher rarities, right? Completely up to you, but ignore the shards, buy only gear. When it comes to the supply search, as you can see, the only thing you should be buying is the tickets. I explained this already, but these tickets are extra attempts that you don't have to use immediately. You can save them, and this is a weekly shop. The ones that have priority is the plugin boost to level up your plugins. The skill optimizations and gear are only to buy if you have leftover currency. If not, only buy the plugin once. You could ignore the resources for now until later in the game when you have more currency. Then you should be buying the ascension materials because they are really important. When it comes to the PvP shop, the only thing you should be buying, once again, is the SSR production signal, because this is 2 random characters for 30 currency or 30k currency. This is the best thing when it comes to this. Later down the road, the set change toolkits are also important, but right now you will not be using them since that is really long term for your gear. And then lastly, we have the custom shop right down below here. This is, of course, purely cosmetic. Buy whatever you like and whatever skin you enjoy. You only get these tokens when you buy battle passes, and we'll talk about them on a second. In fact, let's move and talk about the cash shop and what things are worth buying or not. Now, when it comes to the cash shop, there is a lot of packs. This is the game that has a lot of things to buy, and it can get overwhelming really fast. So let's start with the battle passes. Now, you will have 2 more battle passes here that I don't have because I already bought. A rookie pass that will give you 1 skin token plus a lot of resources and pools for $8. That's, in my opinion, an absolute bargain, and you should buy that. And then sometimes they also have normal battle passes for $10 that include another skin token, materials, pools, etc. Also worth buying. Also, every 14 days, every new event, there's going to be an event pass. Now, event passes are $17 or 18, 20 bucks. I would say do not buy these because the monthly cards have higher value. If you are a spender, not a light spender, or spending more money, these are good because they will give you 4 multis, 800 gems, and a bunch of different currency. But overall, if you are a light spender, I will say those are not worth it because in the cash shop there are better packs. And let's go over those. Now, I'm gonna ignore the launch special. As you can see, I bought the first one. It was $1, I believe, for a multi, pretty good. And the launch special too, because this is for spenders and whales only. If you're a whale, go for them. I personally don't think they're worth it. When it comes to the pickups, as you can see, every time there is a new pickup, there is some banners and some deals. I don't like this personally. If I were to buy any of these, it would be the first and second one only, since those are still one pool per dollar. When it comes to the Black Friday, you will not have this when the game starts, so I'm gonna completely ignore this, okay? Let's go into the weekly specials. These are some that I would personally completely avoid and not get. There are some that are decent when it comes to depending what you're looking for. So for example, as you can see, this is giving you 700 gems and 15 singles. But there is another offer that for the same price gives you 5 multis of this instead of just 15 singles. So I will say nothing here is really worth it. When it comes to the Arena Starter Pack, this is only for whales. Even though the selectors are really good, that's what I say, for whales is worth it, but for most people, avoid this because it's pretty expensive. Now, the monthly perks is what I would recommend most people they get. If you're a low spender, this one on the left costs you $5, this one on the right costs $15 or 20. The one on the left will give you some currency every single day and instantly 5 singles. This is pretty nice. And then you also get 1 free quick operation and 2+ max attempts. That's really nice, and more resources on a daily basis. The other one will give you a 20% increase rewards overall in most game modes, plus a lot of resources every day. 300 gems and 1 hour worth of ascension materials. I personally buy both, and I think if you're a low spender, you only want to buy one thing. These should be the 2 things you buy, nothing else. When it comes to adventure progress, both of these are good because for $25 you are getting 100 pulls. But I would only buy this when you are done with them. As you can see, I'm already done, right? But I'm not buying this until I need the gems, because right now I have 40k, so I have no need to buy this and get even more. These are great packs, but only when you need those extra pulls. When it comes to regular packs, the daily ones, I don't like them. You get 1 for free every day. The weekly ones, I don't think is worth it. You get 1 for free every week. The monthly shop, however, there is one that is pretty good, because as you can see, you get 1 monthly gift. But this monthly recruit pack for $10, you're getting 5 multis and 750 gems, which is the same as this one, but instead of 15, you get 50, which is pretty good, right? A big difference for the same price. So I will say if you can afford that one as well, that's a great pack to be buying, this monthly one for the extra dupes. You are guaranteed at least 1 SSR for $10 because you're getting 5, which is pity at 30, right? You might be able to be lucky and get a couple in there. When it comes to the step up banners, this changes. So this will be changed every week or every 14 days. If there is plugin packs, I don't like them. If there is rate up packs or rate up pools, I like to buy the first one only because it's a multi for $6, which is pretty good. But the plugin ones, I personally don't care too much. And then when it comes to charging star bits, this should be obvious, but this is only for whales. And even if you're a whale, I would be against this because this game has so many packs you can be buying that these Starbit packs feel like a fucking scam. Even though gacha games in general are a scam, but whatever. So that's gonna be for the shop guide when it comes to spending real money, of course. Let's move a little bit into the events in the game, how they work, and then we'll go into the academy guide since I want that to be the last thing for this video. Okay, so I think we've covered most of the basic stuff in this video, and I'm hoping I didn't miss anything or it wasn't too hard to understand. Let's talk about events in this game. Every 14 days, there is a new event, back to back, no downtime. I personally like this because there is things to do constantly. The events are pretty simple. You have 3 attempts per day, and there is, as you can see, 15 normal stages and 15 hard stages, or round 2 if you will. When you complete these stages and you sweep them, you're gonna be getting currency for the event that you can exchange on the center for pools, different resources, materials, gift, and a weapon for the current character, in this case ID. So if you get unlucky with your pulls and you get ID, but you do not get her weapon, you should be prioritizing getting her weapon for free currency. If you already got her weapon, then I will say go for pulls first, because we're all gambling addicts, and after you go for your pulls, go for the materials, those are also pretty important. Now, it's also kind of weird, but this game, even if you complete the whole event and you max out the free battle pass, you will not be able to fully clear the shop. So you need to prioritize what you want to be buying. That's what I'm saying, that it depends if you get the weapon or not. It depends if you prefer to get more pools or want more resources to optimize your account, etc. It's a little bit up to you what you want. I prefer to go for the pools because I'm a gambling addict. Now, that's it about the event and most of the basic stuff in the game. Let's talk about Asnia. I'm not talking about the game, I'm talking about the city, because the city, as you can see right here, is the usual city game mode that every gacha has. You're gonna be getting a lot of different things in here. The most important that people forget to check is these missions right here on the top. These missions will give you every single week a free multi for plugins. That's what I was saying, that it's important to do these things, and that getting the plugins is guaranteed long term for free to play to get absolutely all of them. Just make sure you do these missions every single week and you'll get a free multi. Pretty good, right? You also have your friend list right here to get your free points, which will allow you to be getting more pools and more currency. And then lastly, your mercenary system. Your mercenary system is a system where people will be able to use your characters, and as you can see, they will be giving you some thank yous. They will be giving you some currency, and when you get 300 of these coins, you'll get one of these boxes that we can actually check if you guys want. This one right here, which will be able to give you more currency to pull for. So this is, once again, pretty good. You'll be able to get one of these almost every other day, which is pretty nice. Let me see what I can get here now that I'm here. Green. I'm still waiting to get my last Halona card. I'm missing one character, bro. So that's for those three things on top: mercenary system, friend list, and of course free missions that will give you as well as some currency that you should be doing. Now let's talk about dispatching in this game. Dispatch in this game are different from other gachas. You don't need to use characters to send on dispatches. If you get a dispatch mission, you will be able to automatically dispatch it. You don't have to send characters, which is pretty nice. Of course, the higher the rarity is, the longer it will take. How do you get higher rarity missions? You will have to upgrade your dispatch center. As you can see right here, my supply station is at the max and my scan tech station is at the max, meaning I get the highest amount possible of rarity, and I get more missions overall as well. So you should be upgrading this over time. It's really expensive on gold, so take it easy, because you also need this gold for your characters at the beginning. When it comes to the STARSEED lab, this is where you will be using your currency from the supply search we were talking about earlier. As you can see, this will give you stats to the different factions in the game. That's why you should be pushing them and not be like me and leave it at level 1. After the lab, you also have the Asnia plant. This is the crafting system in the game, and you'll be able to put different things in production that will take different hours. As you can see, they go one by one, not all at the same time, and different characters have different production values and will help you more or less. That's why some characters is good to get for production, because it will increase how much you get and it will decrease how long it takes. And now this is not something you need to worry a lot or min-max as a free-to-play or even as a casual player. I personally don't care too much about this, even though there is some extra rewards to gain. Of course, you also will be able to get more production slots if you increase the value right here with the resources and with the slots. To increase this, you need to spend a lot of gold, and it's also going to be based on how far you've pushed the normal campaign. And then the last one before we go into the academy is going to be this activation center. In here, you're going to be getting with this currency, this activation key that you will be getting for pushing campaign. You're going to be able to obtain or to upgrade how many rewards you get. Essential materials, items, credits, experience. You're also going to be getting more quick operations. You're going to be increasing, as you can see, from 12 hours to 16 hours. Your idle rewards. You're going to be able to also get one free pool for your proxies and for your plugins and more things. So this is important to unlock and to start upgrading the moment you get them. When it comes to the order, this is honestly personal preference. There's some min-maxing to do, but I will say personal preference above everything else. Now, the Academy will make no sense until you actually come in and play yourself, but I'll try to make it brief and simple to understand. So, there is 3 different classes your characters need to attend: the Speaker class, the Altair class, and the Sirius class. You unlock them as you progress through the main campaign. Your characters will have to attend all of these classes twice. You can actually do it only once if you want, but it's twice. So if I go to the Speaker class, for example, and I select the character here without the badge, so you guys can see how this works, I can select, let's say, my Daria. She's a tank, she has no badges. If I click on enroll, as you can see, you will be able to select different stats. These stats, if I were to select a defense 3 times, as you can see that if you select the same class multiple times, it decreases the effect. This doesn't matter. You actually want to go for the same stat 90% of the times. So there is 3 different badges that I could be selecting. Most people will be like, oh, I just go one of each, but it's better to actually go for the same stat, since your DPSs benefit for attack, your tanks from defense and HP, and so on and so forth. So in this case, I want to get just defense, right? When you actually select your classes, you will also have to pick the classmates for Daria. As you can see, every character has an icon, and if they are awkward, close, or neutral to Daria, you want to select the characters that match the class. Doesn't matter if it's close, neutral, or awkward. If they are close, of course, it's better, but as you can see, you will be increasing the stat. So I have a higher chance of obtaining a better badge on this class. Since we only selected one class, we want these girls to be here. So you will be selecting this, and they will go to classroom, we skip, and you'll get your badge. We got a double A and a C. The badges have rarity. Everything in this game has rarities. Every time you are doing this, it costs enrollment tickets. At the beginning, I will say, just try to get 2 good stats and call it a day. Don't worry about the rarity. Don't worry about anything else. Over time, and when you get more, you actually want to be retrying and getting better badges in here with better sets. Now, as you can see, the first one we got was this one on the left. The second one we got, as you can see, is the defense, BLK, and BLK. As I was saying earlier, you can have up to 2 slots. So in this case, I don't like this one either way, so I'm going to discard it, and I'm going to re-roll, and I got the B, B, C in-game. So I don't like it, I'll keep discarding, because I'm looking for a triple defense or something similar. Now, like I was saying, you should not be re-rolling a lot at the beginning, because you will not have a lot of this currency. In this case, I got 2 defenses, and if you want a badge, I can take this, and I can replace the first one. So now my Daria got her first Speaker class badge. I can go now into Altair, go into start, select my Daria once again, click here, and as you can see, she has no badges because this is a different class, and I want to enroll, and there is new classes with different stats, but we want to go once again for defense and some HP, and I want to select the same classmates because they give her good synergy with that class for better stats. We want to go to the class, skip, and you'll get 4 stats. As you can see, we got 2 defenses, 1 HP. Not bad, but I would prefer to switch. And we got absolutely defense, and HP and SSR. I can complete this, and as you can see, I can replace the first one that I got, which was double defense, but it was a 4.5 and 4 versus 5.5 and 4.5. So I want to replace, and I got the new badge. Now, if I go to my character, you'll see that now my Daria has a set of badges that we just got. Slot 1 means badges 1, slot 2 means the second one. So you can switch between 1 and 2 depending what you're doing. I would recommend only doing this once, since it's kind of expensive and you want most of your characters to have at least 1 set of badges, which, as you can see, I do as I say, not as I do, because a lot of my DPSs don't even have 2 badges. So the Academy, like I was saying, it's complex, and until you actually go and do it yourself, it will make no sense. But badges are really, really important. If you want a reference on what stats are good for each character, I will be putting it on the website most likely during this week. It's not yet out there. When this video is up, it's not yet there, but it will be this week. Honestly, all in all, I am probably missing some stuff still on the guide and what I wanted to talk about, but that's going to be for now for this beginner guide, because it's most likely already way too long. If you want a tier list, characters that are strong, and even more stuff, feel free to check the website. As always, there is more stuff in there. Any questions you guys might have, feel free to leave a comment down below. Don't forget you can use the code STARSEEDXSefhi for 5 free singles. Thank you to the STARSEED team for giving me this code, really appreciate it. That's gonna be it for this video. As usual, thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. Links in the description down below. Good luck with your pool generates, and see you in the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことです。